Coming up tonight on Game All Nite, Christina Rouse shows off some hidden talent. I learn that I don't have any, and Gary busts out some Schwarzenegger.
Welcome to Game All Nite.
All right, everybody. So, Game All Nite tonight. I am joined by Christina Rouse of Blue Peg, Pink Peg, the infamous Piranha Pig Peg.
Yes.
The last remaining Pink Peg.
The long-standing, committed Pink Peg, yes.
Absolutely. So I would have to say, when I got into the board game hobby, the Blue Peg Pink Peg show was one of the first ones that I kind of latched onto early. I mean, I caught you guys right at the beginning, and It's been great. So good job hanging in there. You've weathered all the storms. You're on a new co-host now, right? I believe he just started a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Josh Schwartz is now our fourth peg. He replaced Jeremy, our green peg, when he left us for good reasons. I completely understand why he needed to walk away from the show. But now we have Josh, and he's local, and he's been gaming with Patrick and Rob for years. And he's such a nice guy, and he's really knowledgeable in the sense of he plays different kinds of games than we do. So he brings a whole other element to the table for us, which we're excited about.
Awesome. Now, obviously, the blue peg is for the boys. The pink peg's for the girls. Green peg was for the Cthulhu-based Jeremy. So come on, like, do we know what Josh is going to be yet?
So there's been a little buzz. Josh loves heavy metal music, so people are thinking that he'll be the metal peg, or maybe the chrome peg. We don't know yet. Jeremy kind of fell into his naming of the peg just based off of his love for that craft. So I don't know, something might emerge for Josh that's not metal peg, but I think the listeners, the peg heads, are really liking that one.
Good. So that's pretty awesome. So way back when, in the beginning, I would say it kind of felt like you girls kind of got drug into this thing. The boys wanted to do a podcast, and you kind of got reluctantly pulled into this. And you're quiet, and it was reserved, and it's not so much anymore.
No, and it's so interesting when Patrick and Rob thought about what they wanted to do. You know, they wanted to do something different and come at an angle that wasn't quite being done yet as far as content and board games, and really focusing on the relationships behind what it means to sit down at the table with your family or your friends or your spouses or your partners and really talk about what that's like. And obviously, Carrie and I naturally got wrapped into that because we were playing board games with Rob and Patrick and as friends. And it's funny listening back to the first episodes, we definitely sound like maybe we didn't want to be there just because of our hesitancy. And I think too, you know, Rob and Patrick had done improv before. They know what it's like to put on a show and be entertaining. And so Carrie and I had never done anything like this before, and weren't quite, you know, we were finding our feet a little bit in it. And so, as you mentioned, over time, you know, it's now more natural and comfortable, but it wasn't like they were forcing us to sit at the microphone and talk about things. We definitely wanted to be there.
Oh, I definitely got that impression. But I think the funniest thing is longtime listeners of the show know that initially you had this huge aversion to wizards. And now you're full on, you're miniature painting wizards. So you've turned a full 180.
So, yeah, I mean, I still don't, they don't attract me like most people. Like, they love that theme, that craft, that whole group of characters that you can be, wizards or mages. I'm not going to choose them in a game of what I want to be. I'm typically the brute, the the melee weapon carrier. Like, I just like to smash stuff. And every game I've played that has mages and wizards, they don't do much. Like, I don't feel like they're really doing much. I mean, they do a lot. Don't get me wrong. They do a lot. I know they do. But for me, it's not my thing. But over time, there have been games where I've become more attracted to what they bring to the table, whether that's painting the miniatures or new games that are being released that have that theme in them. So I'm coming around. I'm warming up to it. But I wouldn't say I'm like all in wizard love yet. Not yet.
Now, I also don't think that you can be married to Rob, who is known as the loud peg for a very good reason. Because he definitely challenges the peak levels on any podcast, I'm sure. But, you know, you've definitely come up and your voice is very loud and very clear on that show. And I think, you know, you guys do a great job. And thank you for that.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it is tough some days when Patrick and Rob and now Josh get really riled up to kind of insert myself. But I think over time, our peg heads have also resounded with they like what I'm saying and they can align with some of the thoughts I have. And so that really empowers me to want to tell the guys to be quiet and listen to what I have to say. So it's nice. We have a nice balance.
Absolutely. So speaking of empowered, you were probably one of the early like women in board game media, right? So you guys created a podcast. You went a little outside the norm and started talking about the relationships, as you said. Have you faced any challenges or have you faced anything that's awesome as a result of that?
No, I mean, I think it's interesting. So I too had that thought, you know, that we were kind of new into doing this approach in the content, but there are were a ton of female content creators before I ever came onto the scene. And I think just exploring who those people are and really embracing what we're all bringing to the table is something that I really enjoy. And you know, it's funny that in the beginning, everyone had that conversation, women in gaming, and let's talk about women in gaming. And like, we're just not there anymore because we're here and we've been here. And I think our voice is loud and people enjoy what we have to say. And so it shouldn't really be about us being a part of it because we're in it now. So hopefully that conversation will start going away. Like, there's really no need for us to talk about women in gaming anymore because we're here and we're a huge part of the industry.
Well, that's awesome because, I mean, it's really good to know that not everybody is, you know, struggling with that struggle. And you know what? There are plenty of other people who have plenty of other struggles. So let's get on board with them and start working that battle next, right?
Yeah, so, there's a lot of things that we can fight for.
Absolutely. And you do know something about fighting because you also do roller derby on the side. And I want to get to the bottom of that. But I think we're going to pause for a quick break. And then we're going to come back and we're going to go to Christina's darker side as we talk a little bit about roller derby. So we'll be right back. Have you or a loved one been hurt in a board game accident, by a table, cut by a card, or worse? Have you suffered a DVT from sitting at a board game too long? Have you or someone you love lost fingers, appendages, or even life due to these games? Well, here at Meeple and Bits, we are the board game lawyers. No one understands board game law like we do. We will fight hard for your right. So be sure to contact us before you make any decision. You can reach us at 1-800-555-BITS. That's 1-800-555-BITZ. And remember to call us because we don't get paid unless you do. All right, so welcome back. Now, Christina she's not just into board games. I think you wrapped up your busy season, right? Because you also do roller derby.
I do roller derby, yes. Actually, we just started our 2018 season back in February, so I'm back into it.
All right, so you're like full on hip checking, body checking. Like, What what is a day like that like?
So, so our season, we practice 2 times a week. We practice on Sundays from 10 to 1 and Wednesdays from 7 to 9. And so those are full body contact practices. We do off skates in the beginning. We do a ton of endurance, and then obviously a ton of hitting. But it's great. I love it. It's probably one of the best hobbies I decided to get into, just for like me personally and spiritually. I have a really stressful job where I deal with content that people shouldn't know about. And so I have Derby to help release all of that stress and all of that aggression that I get from my job. And so it's really done a lot of powerful things for me, not only as a woman, but just as someone who competed in sports growing up. And it's great. I think it's a really powerful message I'm sending to Harper. She's our daughter. She's 7. Just to see her mom out there, like kicking butt and being strong and having fun too. Like, but it's come such a long way from what it used to be back in the 70s when it was on TV. You know, back then it was all of the showmanship behind it and kind of it got a bad rap for being like WWE, kind of like fake hits and illegal things, and they did all of those things. That's not how Derby's played now. It's one of the fastest women's sports that's growing right now. ESPN2, I should clarify, ESPN2 has picked up the national championship games and stuff. So it's really growing as far as becoming more mainstream as a sport, which melts my heart because it's one of those things that you just don't see a lot of sports that highlight women being aggressive and being powerful and strong and agile and all of the things that we do. And it's awesome. It's the best thing ever.
Okay, so you got to take me on the journey then, because let's rewind to high school Christina. And, you know, love of sports has to start young. I really, I believe that there's a point where, right, like we're you don't necessarily, like, I'm not Mr. Athletic, but I have my things that I love and I'm really passionate about. So what was high school Christina like, and how did you get to here?
Right. I know, like, how'd I get here? Like, what happened? So we were always involved in sports. Like, I played soccer. I didn't play softball. Like, my hand-eye coordination did not work, still doesn't. So then I started getting into swimming, and that's where I stayed for my middle school, high school years were all swimming. But we did other things. We were a family that grew up on the slopes, so we skied all the time. I know you're a skier, so you can relate to the love of that.
I bet.
And the athleticism in that as well. And then in college, I played water polo, so that helps me keep up my, being competitive. I'm super competitive, like physically, which I think also translates into board games a little bit. I just can't be physically competitive in board games. So it makes me use a different part of my brain. And then I had just had Harper. We really hadn't gotten into the board gaming industry yet. I was working a ton. I didn't have a hobby for myself. And I just, we went to a parade and the Derby team was skating in the local parade. And I thought to myself, I was a product of the 80s. I grew up in the skating ring. Okay. So I can skate and they look super awesome. So I'm going to go try and do Derby. And I went and I fell in love, and that was 5 years ago. So it's been something that's amazing. Now,
could you skate? Because come on, being another child of the 80s, like, we had our birthday parties at the roller rink, because that's what you did.
Yep.
Then you put on your tan rental skates with the orange wheels. And we went out skates. And realized, Yep. And I was completely uncoordinated. So, like, how are you? Did you, I assume you have more grace than I did, because a lot of people do. But what, did you go in with a lot? Were you able to skate when you started this, or did you just say, I can kind of get around, let's figure this out?
No, I was able to skate. Like, I was able to stay on my feet. I could do my crossovers. Like, so really I was just learning the form of derby and the sport of the game. But we've had girls come onto our team that couldn't skate for, like, they were clinging the wall as they were trying to like skate in their wheels. And we've taught them everything, and now they're part of the team and they've learned. But Harper does not take after me. She cannot skate for the life of her. And so that's not one of the things we'll be bonding over unless she figures it out. But there have been people who have been uncoordinated who are now on the team. So there is hope for you, Chris. If you do want to play derby, they will teach you what you need to know.
I don't know, and I'm kind of hitting outside the weight class a little bit. But I don't think so.
No,
me on roller skates bad.
There's so derby's not just for women. There's men's roller derby, and they have co-ed roller derby as well. And I've played co-ed derby with guys, and honestly, I've been hit harder by women than some of the guys hit. So size doesn't matter. And I think that's the other wonderful thing about derby is that you don't have to be athletic. You don't have to be a certain body type, like any or age. We've had people on our team who've been in their like 70s. Like anybody can play this sport, which is super cool. And so and it's super inclusive. Like everybody's welcomed. And so it has a lot of parallels to the board gaming industry with just anybody can be a gamer. It's, everybody's welcome to the table. So I really like that those two hobbies have kind of congealed into being happy merriments of each other.
Right. And I'm sure you're also known to take some games on the road when you guys do trips and things. I mean, come on, you have to, right?
Yeah, so it's funny. I played for the Virginia All-Star team, and the coach for the Virginia All-Star team and one of the players on that team are gamers. And we were talking about something unrelated, and then we started talking about games, and then he was like, do you have this game? And he literally like pulled it out of his duffel bag, his skate bag, and he was like, do you know this game? And I was like, we need to find a table right now and play this. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it was kind of cool that those crossed. We do try to get some games in, but they're typically kind of like your Happy Salmon, kind of like your monikers, just the party games that we do. Because, most people don't want to sit down and play Lisboa right after they've played a 2-hour derby tournament. Like, it's just not going to happen.
No, that totally makes sense. And you know what? That's fair, because I kind of started out gaming. Like, I was a gamer from way back, but it was more like party games. And you know what? That's at the crux of what brings people together, right? So it makes sense that these are good games for us. Awesome.
Yeah, we slowly try to introduce games and open the door like an inch at a time with our derby team. I'm bringing some people along, so it's nice.
But it's also nice to have things a little compartmentalized too. Like, I know I can go there, and I know I can whip out monikers, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it, and that's totally fine too. Absolutely, because I need to get my monikers in. I feel you. So, and those of you who haven't watched last week, we a couple weeks ago, we put up Alan Girding where him and I horribly played monikers. Although I really blame Gary because, the logistics on that were kind of a nightmare, but it's a lot of fun.
Wait. He's throwing me under the bus on that one.
Yes.
We had to improvise.
Little bit.
What the viewers did not see is we had to improvise a lot of that. So I'm just going to go back into my corner.
So, Chris, I have some homework for you. You
please
need to come up with a derby name.
Ah.
Yeah.
A derby name for me?
Yeah, you have to have like your alter ego derby name.
All right, cool. So what are some We'll ask the ladies, like some of the ladies ones from your team. So what are some popular ones?
Okay, so a couple of people on my team. We have Psycho Joia. That's a good one. She is literally quite psycho. We have Amelia Scareheart. That's a good one.
Nice.
We have everybody goes by some form of a nickname. We have Skate Monster. We have Skateness Evermean. So that's a good one. We have Rogue Bludger. So some of them are kind of like a play on words. And then some people just have, you know, their regular name modified a little bit, but like Sophie Nominal is one of our teammates. I'm just kind of going through our roster. We have someone called Pei Pei, nice. Which I don't know why she's called that, but that's what she's called.
Nice. So, okay, so I'll work on that, and I'm sure somebody in the comments will come up with some horrible names for me as well, because, you know.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
The internets are great for these things. Heck, they came up with...
Yeah.
So where did the piranha pig come from? Because that had to come from something.
Yeah, so there's a story behind Piranha Pig, and it's in one of our really early episodes. Rob had wanted me to get playing a role-playing game. Like he really wants me to play role-playing games, and that was early on in my gaming career, and I was really had an aversion to role-playing, and I don't know if it's because I was worried about being silly or looking like I didn't know what I was doing, but that's the whole idea of role-playing. You can do, you know, whatever. So I said, okay, I will play a role-playing game, and this is the character I want to play. And so I pitched my character to him, and essentially I was a scout, and I would scout ahead of the group and, you know, survey the land of where we were going. And in my pack, I had like a huge pack on my back and like a cannon, like an air cannon. And in my pack were piranha pigs, right? And so I would shoot them out of my air cannon, and they would like nom, 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 whatever was there, like enemies or whatever. And as piranha pigs
that's
are,
what they do.
That's what they do. And Rob's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, it's role play, and I'm pretty sure I could do whatever I want. And he was like, well, how would it work? Like, how you're just going to have an infinite amount of piranha pigs in your bag? I'm like, I guess if it was like a bag of holding, it could, you know? And he's like, well, that's magic and you hate wizards. And I was like, okay. So, you know, but piranha pigs are very, you know, they're very devout creatures. They do their nom nom, and then they crawl back to me and find me and climb back in my pack. Like, that's just how it works. So that, we talked about that on the show.
Self-reloading ammo.
Right, exactly. So we talked about that on the show, and one of our listeners did some artwork of this character I wanted to be. And he drew in what the piranha pig would look like and me as the scout. And it's hanging in our kitchen. And so that's kind of where Piranha Pig came from. And it's just kind of stuck. We use it as part of our logo for the show. And we love it. It's a weird thing, but we love it.
It's funny how like those things that just kind of spawn up are what end up sticking, right? Because because it's even on the dice, right? Like the little dice I have them. They're sitting over there.
It's on our dice.
I failed to grab them.
Shirts. Like it's
dice.
They're everywhere. And it's very iconic. Like you see it and you can automatically relate it to Blue Peg, Pink Peg. Like that's just what people think about.
Exactly. Now, so who drew it? Because it's definitely one of the big fans that are in there, and I don't want to say the wrong name, but do you remember who drew it?
So it's interesting. We had this debate the other day. It's kind of a combination project between Bernard, who's one of our big time listeners,
right?
And
Puff
actually
and Slayer,
Josh
right?
Schwartz. Yeah, Puff and Slayer.
Okay.
I think they both had ideas, and the one that you see on our dice and everything is the final product of Bernard. But Josh Schwartz had a little play into it as well. So it's kind of a love child.
That's why he's a little metal, and that would make sense.
Yeah.
Little metal pig show. That could work.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I think this is awesome, but I think we need to get back to talking about your family, but let's go into that when we come back, gaming with Harper and everything. But let's take a quick break so we can start fresh. So, guys, hang in there. We'll be right back. And this week's Media Creator Shoutout goes out to Josh and Brandon doing the Brawling Brothers podcast. These guys have a morning show banter, and I can't get enough of it. Be sure to check them out on your favorite podcast stream. So Christina we just got done chatting. She's drinking a nice red tonight. So I just want to, give a shout out that she's like the first guest on show drinking with me, so I don't drink alone. Oh, cheers. Wait. Is that an official glass there? Yeah, we could totally cheers that.
Oh yeah, cheers. Clink. This is my Piranha Pig wine glass. It's my pink peg that Bernard made me, so that I had my own drinking glass.
So you don't lose track of it. Perfect.
Right. Yeah. It's like a red Solo cup with my name written in Sharpie, but different.
A little different. It might be
different.
Slightly more classy.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that was actually one of the ways I met you and Rob out at Gen Con briefly. That was kind of how we met everybody at Gen Con, because it was just crazy town. And then, we got to spend a little more time up at PAX U when we got to hang out in the hotel room, and you guys were playing Secret Hitler, and Rob's been ticking everybody off, right? Because apparently Rob plays Secret Hitler like a madman, right?
He's a unique person to play social deduction games with. I do not enjoy playing social deduction games with him. Because he is the loud peg, and he tends to speak his opinions very loud. And if you're not a very dominant speaker, you could tend to just follow what other people say. And I don't agree with how he plays that game. Like, I think other people
totally
should think for themselves. Yeah.
Why don't listen to him? Just don't.
Yeah, don't. And then what I just like to be chaos when I play. I'm like, well, maybe I am Hitler, or maybe I am a liberal. And he's like, why are you being crazy? And I'm like, because that's the fun of playing this game. So you can play with people.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's I tend to be crazy, but that's because I tend to forget my role and who my teammates are. I've been known to I'm horrible when I'm Merlin, and I've totally thrown my own teammates under the bus by mistake. It's what I do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens.
But so you guys have a nice little daughter, Harper, and she's put at bed at this point. We don't keep her up too late, thankfully. And so you guys are introducing her to gaming like frequently, right? You guys go out, and what's that?
Yes. So we started Harper with like Animal on Animal, back when she was like 4 or 5, kind of those easy games, more of the tactile games. And then we've started to ease her into a little harder stuff. Rob and her have this really cute tradition. So on Sundays while I'm at practice, Rob and Harper go to the local coffee shop and they take a game, and Rob has coffee, Harper has milk, and they play a board game, and she gets to pick which game they take. Her usual favorites, she really likes Uno because she can win at that game because it's really luck based. So she likes the fact that she can win, but they'll take, Karuba was a big one for a long time with her. She really enjoyed that one. Pharaoh's Gulo Gulo was a good one. She loves Go Cuckoo by Haba. That's a great one. Rhino Hero was another big one that we were on for a long time with her. But now that she's 7, we're starting to try and amp her up a little bit because we get, again, Rob and I are very competitive. So we'll see other people on Twitter or Facebook gaming with their kids, and we saw a photo with Jamie Maltman and his kids are like 6 and 7, kind of the same age, and they're playing Rising Sun. And I was like, Rob, we have got to up our game with Harper, because she's over here playing like Catan Jr. and these kids are playing Rising Sun. Like, that is not okay. So right now we're on Stuffed Fables. So we're playing through the stories on Stuffed Fables, and she loves it. She likes the storytelling. She's very creative and she has a huge imagination. So I think kind of those storytelling, she probably is going to enjoy role-playing games, which is going to be great because then she can play with Rob and I won't have to. But it's going to work out great for me. We think we're going to try maybe some Descent with her and see if she enjoys that. She loves dragons and monsters, so we think Descent would be okay. I don't know. We're kind of exploring that next level for her and what that looks like. And even if she wants to keep gaming with us, which hopefully she will.
Right, because it could happen that, they take a left turn and all of a sudden it doesn't interest them anymore. And,
Yeah. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Yeah. We've tried to, what's really cute is when she has friends over now, she'll like, hey, you want to play a game? And she'll pull a game off of her shelf and introduce other kids to games, which is super cute. Cause then you're like, that's my seed doing, spreading the love of gaming to other kids. So that's really endearing, but she may grow out of it and that's okay. Rob and I will cry for a while and then we'll get over it.
Right. Just cherish those little moments while you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you found that so I'm not a parent. It's well documented. The state told me I'm not allowed. But they also told me I can't buy alcohol at Trader Joe's. So I don't trust their judgment. So have you found that the board games kind of help with that? Is it something that you're able to create conversations around? Can you help her with the whole being a good loser, being a good winner? I mean, what kind of things are being, sure, you're playing with models and things, but what other life lessons are coming out of this?
Yeah, so in the beginning, when she was 3 and 4, it was all about, helping her learn her primary things like colors and numbers and counting, and adding up her points at the end of games. That was a big thing. So we were kind of doing it in a way to help integrate some of just those basic skills that she was learning at school. But then that on the other side of that, it is the idea of being a good sportsman, about being a good board game player. And so what we did in the beginning was whoever won the game, whatever we were playing, they would have to do a victory dance, and we would sing a song and the person who won would do a little dance. And then at the end of their dance, they would have to go shake the hands of all the other players and say, good game, good game.
Okay.
So we still do that little tradition when we play games. That's endearing, but now we're trying to fold in strategy with her of what would be a good move for you to make that may make someone else lose the game, or how could you benefit yourself by going to this place versus that place. So we're trying to incorporate some of those thinking skills, like the problem solving skills and outside of the box thinking skills with her. She has some a little bit, but if you're in a game where going after her helps you and benefits you, you will win. So she doesn't quite have that where, so if we play those games, we always alternate which direction we go each game, because she'll typically not choose the right thing to allow the player that goes next to benefit. So that's a hard thing that we're trying to get around.
So what you're teaching me is that I want to play Puerto Rico with her because she's always going to produce for me. That's what I'm hearing, right?
Yes, she is. Or you want to play Terraforming Mars with her during the drafting, and you will get amazing cards because she won't pick
amazing.
Yeah.
I want the ones with all the puppies.
Yeah. Yeah, she won't know what she's doing.
Awesome.
But she's great. She's been a great gamer for us, and we love it.
Well, it sounds like, you know, the best thing is that, you know, it brings the family together. And I think that that's what's important. Like, when I started gaming, my wife wanted nothing to do with it. And, you know, through persistence and through trying to just be welcoming about it, it's like now she goes out and she does game days without me. So it's one of those things that when you have an option to turning on the TV, it's awesome. And I love it when you can kind of unplug and disconnect and get away from a game. It's like I love that. And stories like yours make me a little more optimistic for the future.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest things of us wanting to do gaming with Harper specifically for that reason, is that, you know, that it's so easy for kids to get sucked into screen time, whether that's the television or video games or tablets or cell phones. I mean, they're everywhere. And you don't have that connectivity that we had before all of this technology came along. And board games allows you to do that. So that's that's why we love it.
Yep. And I think that, you know, that's why this hobby as a whole is kind of in a surge right now. Because I think we're all kind of backlashing against all the screen time. You know, it's, you know, oh, look, there's a new show coming this fall. Let's put it on record. Like, no, how about we just lost 2? Let's call it a win and let's dump the DVR down. And, you know, I don't think Gary's there yet. I don't think he's quite at that mode because he's still in it. But
was you expecting me to butt in right now? Was you expecting me to?
I was totally expecting.
Oh no, I was just going to let you ride
totally
there.
Calling you out.
I was just definitely going to let you dig your own grave there for a minute. Just keep digging that hole. Just keep going. I was going to let you ride, but no, fine.
How many hours did you spend playing some games today? I think you did. Did I play? Okay, technically, I saw a tweet.
In Gary's defense,
I saw a tweet.
Wait, I sent out a tweet about this. Now I'm having like amnesia about my own tweets. In
Gary's defense, it's very easy to lose hours, maybe days in a video game. I'm just saying. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
I see the tweet you're talking about. You're talking about Fortnite. I didn't even play it today. That was just a funny video. That's all it was.
Oh, okay.
But
all right. Don't get so defensive, Gary. Man, whoa,
I'm getting super defensive about this. This is way too much for me. This is too much for me. I'm going back to my hole.
Yeah. There's a reason I have not purchased a video game system since I think a Wii and a PS2 is because I will sit down in the basement and I will play for hours and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, so, it's definitely a hole that's easy to fall into.
Absolutely. So board game's good. That's what I'm taking away from this.
Good.
And
yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of games, I think that we need to get on and play our game. And we're playing something that Christina and I kind of came up with. So God only knows how this is going to go, but you're going to have to stay tuned to find out what happens next on Games with Guests. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the show. Real quick, I just wanted to take a moment to let you know a few things about us. Number one is we have a Pod Pledge page. Now on there you can donate any amount, monthly, weekly, daily, whatever, and any of that goes directly to support the show, build the sets, better equipment, and all those things. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to quit my day job. Just anything helps. Number two is please check out our social media. If you're not following us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, please do so. We definitely interact with our people a lot on there because we want you guys to be part of this show. Also, be sure to subscribe to YouTube. You know that little red button down there? Make sure you're clicking that and also do the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever we post a video. Once, twice, maybe 3 times a week. Lastly, please be sure to tell your friends. Whether you retweet something, whether you go out and you tell them about the channel, show them a show, anything you can do to get the word out, we would greatly appreciate it. So that's it. I'm now going to return you to your regularly scheduled program. Operators are standing by. So tonight's Game with Guests, we are playing something a little different. Christina wanted me to sing, but mercifully for all y'all, I said no. So instead, we are going to we're going to do celebrities playing board games. And what the objective is we are going to do a celebrity impression, and we're going to verbalize a move, and then the other person has to guess what the celebrity is and the game is that it comes from, right?
Right. So I have a confession to make. Boop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So as I was getting ready, because I knew we were going to play this game, I was testing out some of my impressions, and they are horrible, right? Like the worst ever. So I'm going to do what I do best, which is sing horribly. But hopefully you will be able to still guess the person who is singing and the game I'm playing. But I did that because my impressions are, no one should see those. We'll just go with that.
All right. So my impressions are limited, but adequate.
Okay.
So, all right. I like this.
Good.
This is good compromise. This works. This works. All right.
Okay.
So do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first? You're the guest. You get to choose.
I'm going to go first and just,
all right.
I'll do it so that we can get the horribleness out there, and then you won't feel so bad after you go after me.
Okay. All right. I like getting the awkward out of the way early.
Yeah. We're just going to get it out of the way early. All right, so
All
you
good.
need to guess the artist or the person that's singing and what game I'm singing about. And hopefully you get them. So, are you ready?
No, but let's do it anyway.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to mess this up, but it'll be good. Okay.
We need background music.
We do need background music, but we'd have to pay money for it, and we're not going to do that. So, no.
Fair enough.
All right. Here we go. There's a quilt here. Let me patch it. I put my tile down, flip it, and reverse it. If you're flipping it, if you're flipping it, if you got a complete quilt, then you win this. Find out how many buttons can you get. Flip it, yeah. If you're flipping it, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, okay. Do you know it?
That's totally, well, it's totally got to be Patchwork.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's Patchwork. Oh, but my music knowledge is crap. I apologize.
No.
And I wasn't going to tell you that up front. Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, you can phone a friend.
I'm going to phone a friend. Hey, wait. So, okay, here it is. So we're going to play this 3 ways. So I get 1 point because I guess the game. Gary gets to guess the song. And if he gets a point, wait a sec, Gary can win this? I don't know if I like
if
that.
If I win this, that is pathetic on everyone's side. If I just have to come in just like, okay, I sub in again, point here, point here, point here. All right, sweet. All right. That was
slow and steady.
That was a toss up, what I like to call it, because that was definitely Missy Elliott, right there.
Yes, it was.
The classic.
Good job.
All right,
Missy Elliott. All right, so next.
All right. Oh. for that. All right. Awesome job. So, believe it or not, we're tied, one across the board. All right.
Good. Great. Perfect.
So I'm sticking a little more traditional.
Okay.
I will be doing an impression, and we'll go from there. All right. So what are you going to do? I need to flip the tiles, and shields, man, shields! I cannot find the shields anywhere. Would you please tell me what? Damn it. That's all I got for you.
Okay, I think I know this. I think it's William Shatner playing Galaxy Trucker.
Oh my God. I don't know how you got it from that, but well done.
I totally would have gotten both of those wrong. I think I knew the wrong name, and I had the wrong game.
I mean, yeah.
What game did you think, though, Gary?
To be honest, I was completely blank on the name. I was trying to remember who the actor's name was. Nothing was coming to me. I think I was going to say Christopher Walken. I think. Who's Christopher Walken?
What?
He's the guy who talks a little funny.
Oh,
my Walken's.
He has that lion
mean?
story. What do
Yeah.
you mean?
You're
And
a lion.
you're like a buttercup, and you're covered in butter. And
See, you could have done impressions. You're fine. You're fine.
nope.
See, you stammer and stutter, and you got a Shatner. See, that's how that works. All right.
Yeah.
So
Good.
I
Okay.
have Christina has 3 points, so I have 2, and Gary's sitting at 1 with the scraps. So, all right, you're up.
Okay, here we go. Look at this window. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you say that it isn't complete? Wouldn't you think it needs panes? Panes of colored glass. Look at this pool of colored dice. How many can I get? I get to go twice. Placing into a window, you think, this is easy. Then the 2 can't go next to the 2. The purple can't touch another purple. Yellow dice, just forget it. But who cares? No big deal. This game makes me feel dumb. Any ideas?
Oh, well, totally Sagrada.
Yes?
You know, I
look
kind of
look
feel
at Gary.
I'm feeling a Disney thing, but I don't think it's right.
Disney's right. Disney's right.
So, I kind of want to say it was from Beauty and the Beast, but that's as... All right, Gary, what do you think it is?
Oh man, that was totally Little Mermaid. What was it? What's the name of the song? I Want More.
A part of this world.
A part of this world. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched that movie and had inappropriate thoughts, but it's all right.
All right. So what's that? What's that? At that's 1 point for Chris. 1 point.
Yeah, 1, 1, and 1.
All right. Yep.
All right,
Chris, I'm catching up to you.
It's not that big of a challenge, buddy.
Touche.
Hey, I think we can all safely say that the majority of us don't play board games to win. We play to socialize, right? Because otherwise I'd never play games at all. Plain and simple. All right. Let's see. All right. So I got this rabbit, and I'm gonna put him down, and he's a rabbit, and I don't know. He got to put him down. You're gonna guess this, right? And then you're gonna put your cards in, and oh no, I don't know. Wow, this impression got really bad.
No, it's
It's worse because I can hear myself, and I know how bad it is, and I'm like, no. and then you're gonna vote, and you're gonna vote, and you're not gonna vote for me, but it's a really big rabbit. It's so bad. That's so bad. I'm not helping you at all. Not at all. Gary's pounding on a desk.
In the beginning, I had an idea of who you were trying to be.
Yes.
But like you said, it just kind of like, woo!
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of think that's exactly how I felt. So
and the worst part about that was I was actually then trying to focus on the celebrity,
the game,
and then I forgot about the game.
You forgot the game.
I don't even know what you said about the game.
I did the other part. I was really focusing on what you were saying about the game. You said there was a rabbit and some cards, and then people voting for you.
Yeah,
but I don't know what game has rabbits that you get a vote on. When you said rabbits, I was like, oh, he's going to do Bunny Kingdom, but that's not right with what the rest of the stuff you said was. I don't know. Gary, do you know any other rabbit game?
There's a fox, not the fox. There's the hare and the turtle. There's I don't think that doesn't sound like that game at all. There's
let me look. Hold on, let me look around. Let me see.
Rabbit games. There's what's that one with
I really
the
want
Alice
to
in
talk
Wonderland
right now.
theme? That was like Parade or something like that. There's that.
Oh, but you don't vote on people in Parade.
Yeah, exactly. Don't vote in that one.
That game's crazy good.
Yeah, I was
sidebar.
I was surprised too. I was like, I was playing the game. I was just like, oh, it seems okay. And I was like, oh wait, no, it's not okay. It's great. So.
It's great. I don't know. I want to say you were trying to be. Oh, now I can't think of his name. Sir, he was knighted. He's the Sean Connery. Were you trying to be Sean Connery?
No. Gary, do you have a guess?
If I was to make a guess, this is way off. I'm just going to throw one out there, just like throw a Hail Mary. But what's that guy from those old movies? Ernest or whatever his name, Ernie or whatever. He's getting a lot of trouble. He used to have a white hat on. It does. I'm pretty sure that sounded nothing like him, but he sounded really unconfident a lot of the time.
Like Ernie Goes to Jail.
Right,
that guy. Yeah, that's not him, right?
I'm going to stop you right there. It was a really bad Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Who's Jimmy Stewart again? That sounds super
Harvey,
familiar.
Big Bunny. All right. So what game was he playing?
What was the game? Bunnies.
Any guesses?
Bunny, the rabbit.
You can give up. It's fine. It's fine. It was horrible.
I can't think of anything, and I'm probably gonna kick myself.
Right. Dixit Odyssey. Well, Dixit, but Dixit Odyssey had the bunny track, the score track.
Oh, that seems so obvious now because it is a bunny and you vote. Yeah, that's
bunny cards and vote.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh no, it was horrible. It was horrible.
It's horribly
You're
good.
bringing it, and I'm losing it. I'm going to give myself 2 points off because you guys got nothing. So.
Okay.
All right. Save this game, Christina.
All right. This is the last one I got. Right? We were just doing 3, right?
Yep.
Is that right? Okay. Cool. All right. By the way, I sing horribly, so please no judging on that part of it. Okay. Sometimes I play a game with small little square tiles. Some make my ship go really fast, like extra space, light miles. Then you say, watch out ahead, an asteroid storm. My whole crew becomes forlorn. If you've done a bad job at building your ship, hit after hit, you'll barely have a spacecraft left in the end. Hit after hit. Next card are alien ships coming at you. Space pirates steal your cargo, even the green, red, and blue. Lasers are blown to bits and no engines left. If you've done a bad job at building your ship, hit after hit. You'll barely have a spacecraft left in the end. Hit after hit. What is it?
Amazing. Oh, that's like, well, A, it's your favorite game ever. It's Galaxy Trucker.
Favorite game. Yeah.
Favorite game. And it's also one of my favorite songs, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
nice job.
And I actually like both versions because I like the Phil Collins does a great remake of that. And it's just good choice. That's awesome.
Thank you. I know when you did Galaxy Trucker in the first one, I was like, oh no.
Yours was so much better. So much better. Gary, did you get either of those?
Yeah, I knew both of those. I was just waiting for you to mess up, but you foiled me this time.
That's right in my wheelhouse. So it's interesting, and I'm a horrible human for forgetting his name, but the guy who wrote that song and sang backup for Cyndi Lauper was a member of the Hooters, and the Hooters was the first concert I ever went to. They were local to Philly, and it was in like my high school gym.
What?
Yeah,
That's
for real. Yeah,
That's
and they like
crazy.
did the song, and he actually sings the backup vocals. It's but there you go. That's my little story, and that was the first and last sleeveless T-shirt I ever bought. All right, so,
We gotta get the Merp
I will
Brothers to
not
send
be
you one.
God, nobody needs to see that. Nobody. Well, nobody. Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother thing. All right, let's see if I can redeem myself. So, all right. So, you're going to take these cards and you're going to look at them. And then you have to see what the location is. So, Moneypenny would find this exciting. Wow, I'm really bad. I swear these are so much better in my head. And now I'm hearing them and I'm like, so I can't do impressions. All this time I thought I could. And apparently, no. I'm horrible.
It always
I
sounds
had
like
it.
something, but then it changed. Like, well, it didn't change, but
Yeah, well, you know what it is? I'm good at phrases. Like, Mr.
Okay, yeah.
Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Like, I can do that,
Yeah.
but then that's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I was
And
like,
when I gotta
I could
do a
be-
long...
Yeah, I could be Eliza.
It goes
from Dr.
away.
Dolittle, but it goes away. Yeah.
Classic.
And then, or like
You could, I
start
wouldn't
with
know.
What? Yeah. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, right? Like, but you start with an Australian accent, and then it slides into like an Irish accent or a British accent. And you're like, what happened? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can do snippets and sound bites, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Rich Little, I am not.
Can you do it again?
I'm going to... Do we really want to do that to these people?
Please, can you
All right,
please? We're begging to hear that again.
So, you have to be careful because some things in here don't react well to being guessed wrong. But the show must go on because you grab a card and it gives you the location. And the location is the key.
I think I know the person.
Moneypenny.
I think I'm lost on the game.
Okay. I think the person is... I think this time it's William Shatner. Or, I'm sorry, Sean Connery.
Oh,
Is it-
thank God.
Yeah.
that-
I meant
It
to
is.
say
It
Sean
is Sean
Connery.
Connery.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I know I'm bad, but...
The funny thing is with that one for a second, I thought he was trying to do an impression of like the people that are like, yeah, sure. Like he was like doing a whole side talk.
Mugsy.
But you never said C, so I was like, so it's not that.
She.
What is it?
Yeah.
It's like
Hey,
the
you gotta be
Kennedy.
careful, she. But then, like, nobody knows the name of the guy who did that. So
No.
I forget.
Right. And the game is Moneypenny. I feel like that's a character in the game. I think is it Time Stories?
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, what do you think it is, Gary? Because it's not Time Stories. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay, if it's not this, then I wouldn't be surprised if it's not this. Is it Clue?
No.
What? Oh wait,
It's,
Moneypenny's not a character. Oh no.
no. All the characters were like Colonel Mustard and like.
Oh yeah, they're all colors. They're all colors.
Yeah. Get out of here, Gary.
Yep.
Go away.
Fine.
Yep. No. I only gave you 2 clues of the game, and one was cards, and one was location.
And that's why I thought it was Clue, because you look at the cards.
But then
you get the location.
Right.
you also said
said
like if you choose wrong, it's a wrong move or something. Like don't choose wrongly.
So it's a spy fall, but
Oh.
That's good.
yeah.
Moneypenny, I think, was the thing
Or
that
not.
threw us off. Wait, is Moneypenny in that? Is that like a thing or something? I
No,
can't remember.
that's just so I could do the Sean Connery because he always says Moneypenny. You know.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
Now that you say it, it's like, oh yeah, he does actually. that's like almost like Owen Wilson's WoW. It carries through him with every movie that he's in.
Oh, I could have done Keanu Reeves playing any game. Whoa. That would have worked.
I was really
All
trying
right.
to come up with it was fun. That was super fun.
That's all that matters. And it helps that Christina had 6 points, I had 4, and Gary bringing up the rear with 2 leftovers. So
Yay!
I guess we have to come up with a gift for the winners because it's not me.
Oh yeah, I accept payment in the forms of wine or tequila.
Wow, that's going to be a rough night if I have to drink tequila with you and then bourbon with Rob. That could be an interesting night.
Best night of your life.
That was a hoot. That was a lot of fun, Christina. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's fun.
So where do people find you if they want to find you on the internet, and where do they find Blue Peg Pink Peg?
Okay, so Blue Peg Pink Peg is easy. We're on Facebook under Blue Peg Pink Peg. Our website is bluepegpinkpeg.com. So BGG is Blue Peg Pink Peg. You can find us under the guilds there. Twitter, my Twitter handle is BPPP Piranha Pig. Made it super easy. That's where you can find me on Twitter. And if you want to follow Blue Peg Pink Peg on Twitter, it is that handle as well.
Awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm really glad you said yes and, suffered through my horrible impressions. Your singing was awesome. Don't ever hold back. That was absolutely
thanks.
great.
No, it was so much fun.
Thanks, everybody.
And I'm super excited for you and what you're doing with this platform, and I think you have an exciting year ahead of you for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the shout out you gave me on the show, and I've received nothing but love from pretty much everybody, and it's been nothing short of awesome. So,
cool.
Thank you very much, and thanks everybody for watching and suffering through my impressions as well. So hopefully we'll see you next week when you Game All Nite. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our efforts at comedy and fun, please support us on Podpledge. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, don't forget to engage with us on Board Game Geek Guild 3134. You can also check us out on our website, gameallnightshow.com. This show has been made possible through supporters like these. Angry Octopus. Yeah.
Or you could be like Arnold Schwarzenegger playing like
I'm going to jail.
Happy salmon. Yeah.
Yeah, or like that.
Pound it, pound it, pound it.
I totally want to do that. Then. Why were you doing that? Would you not pound it?
Pound it.
I
Switch places here.
Why aren't you switching places?
Switcheroo.
Yes, switcheroo. That's what it is.
Get to the chopper.